Okay, let's jump right into a theory that's been making the rounds. And honestly, it's a little unsettling. The idea is that you might only have about 5 years left to really build wealth. After that, well, a huge economic shift, all driven by AI, could basically lock you into your financial situation permanently. So, what's actually behind this idea? And more importantly, how do you make sure you end up on the right side of it? This whole thing really boils down to two very different potential futures. You can think of it like a fork in the road for all of us, something people like Elon Musk have talked about. AI is what's pushing us toward this choice, and it could lead us to one of two completely different worlds. So, on one hand, you've got the good outcome, the benign one. It's kind of like Star Trek, you know? Robots and AI are doing all the heavy lifting. Working becomes something you do if you want to, and everyone enjoys a universal high income. Sounds pretty great. But then there's the other path, the dystopian outcome. And that's basically what we're seeing now, but absolutely supercharged by AI. It's a world where that gap between the rich and the poor becomes a permanent, uncrossable canyon. To really get a grip on that scary dystopian risk, we need to talk about a concept that economists are buzzing about right now. It's called the K-shaped economy, and it's pretty much the engine driving this entire theory. So, what in the world is a K-shaped economy? Just picture the letter K. After some kind of crisis, society literally splits. One group starts trending upwards. That's the top arm of the K. They're seeing growth. They're seeing prosperity. Meanwhile, another group starts trending downwards, facing decline and financial pressure. That's the bottom arm. This idea really took off after 2020, when we saw this crazy split between a booming stock market and, all the small businesses that were just getting crushed. And here's the thing that's so wild. The dividing line is incredibly simple. If you're on that top arm of the K, you own assets, things like stocks, real estate, your own business. But if you're on the bottom arm, you mostly just rely on the income you get from your job. Your costs for everything keep going up, but your paycheck, it just can't keep pace. And this creates a psychological split too. For the asset owners, there's this feeling of momentum, of winning. For the income earners, it feels like you're running faster and faster on a treadmill just to stay in the exact same spot. And look, this isn't just a theory. The data is screaming it at us. Just look at the US. The top 10% of earners are now responsible for about half of all consumer spending. Meanwhile, the bottom 80%, that's the huge majority of people, they only account for 37%. I mean, that is a K-shaped economy right there in black and white. Okay, I know what you might be thinking right now. So what? The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. Tell me something I don't know. And yeah, that's a totally fair point. This divide has always existed. But there is a brand new ingredient in the mix now, one that threatens to make this gap permanent. And that difference, that game changer, is artificial intelligence. See, throughout history, the way people have climbed the ladder, moved from the bottom to the top, is by finding inefficiencies. Finding a problem that needs a better solution or a market that nobody's serving, and then building a business around it. Well, AI is getting ready to wipe out those opportunities on a massive, massive scale. Let's just break that down for a second. Right now, a clever entrepreneur can spot a gap in the market and build something amazing. But what happens when an AI can scan the entire global economy, pinpoint every single inefficiency, and then generate a perfect solution almost instantly? That space for human ingenuity, for building your way up, that ladder between the two arms of the K could basically vanish. Now, this AI-driven future also shines a huge spotlight on a philosophical battle about money itself. The very system we use to measure value is being put under a microscope, and there are two totally competing ideas for how it all should work. And understanding these is really key to seeing where this might all be going. All right, so in one corner, you've got Keynesian economics. That's pretty much the system we live in today. Its main goal is to get you to spend money. It does that by printing more of it, which leads to slow, predictable inflation. The quiet message is, your cash is designed to lose value over time, so you better spend it. But in the other corner, you have the Austrian school. They argue for hard money, stuff that can't just be created out of thin air. This system rewards saving, and the idea is that prices should actually fall over time as technology gets better. It's a total clash of ideas. Should we be pushed to spend or rewarded for saving? And believe it or not, this debate is not new. The founding fathers of America were worried about this very thing. Thomas Jefferson himself warned that if you let central authorities control the money supply, it could end in total disaster. That sentiment is right at the core of what the Austrian school is all about. Okay, so if this theory has legs, and we're really heading for some kind of economic freeze, what's the escape plan, right? How do you make sure that you're on that top arm of the K? Well, according to this theory, the answer is all about a fundamental change in your strategy. So here's the absolute heart of it. The name of the game is shifting from earning to owning. Just relying on a salary in a world where everything costs more and opportunities are shrinking, well, that might not be a winning strategy anymore. The goal has to be acquiring productive assets, things that can generate value or wealth all on their own. And what are we talking about here? Well, you've got the traditional stuff, of course, stocks, real estate, but also things like owning a business or intellectual property, a copyright or a trademark. Then there's what some people call hard money, like gold, silver, or Bitcoin. Heck, even a powerful social media brand can be a seriously productive asset in the world we live in today. And all of this brings us right back to that urgent, central question. If this whole shift is real, how much time do we actually have before that window of opportunity, the one that lets you build wealth from scratch, slams shut for good? The timeline this whole theory keeps coming back to is about 5 to 10 years. Now, let's be super clear, this is a theory, not a crystal ball prediction. But what it suggests is that we are in a special, limited time period where building new things is still the main path to wealth, before owning things becomes the only path. And so that leaves us with one final and really critical question to mull over. Are we living through the last era where a person can create significant wealth from nothing? In the AI-powered future, will you be able to build your way to the top through innovation and hard work? Or will your success be determined only by the assets you already own? It's a pretty powerful idea to think about.